some people cosplaying is I guess they got like the wrong idea. They thought that it was like a type of fetish, like a foreplay or something. I don't know, but so when I told them about like how I like cosplaying, they gave me like a very weird look. Like seriously, what? Then I'm just I guess you guys got the wrong idea, but that's really not what I meant.
Cosplay has become increasingly popular over the last decade in Southeast Asia. The combination of the word costume and play, cosplay has attracted more and more people, especially young adults, to dress up as their favorite characters from comics, films, and video games. In Malaysia, there is no exception, with large-scale events such as the Comic Fiesta being held annually since 2002. More and more local cosplay events are being organized over the last few years to provide a platform for cosplayers to showcase their talent. To better understand the cosplay world, we sat down with Sabi, a recent university graduate who has been actively involved in cosplaying over the last few years.
I took an interest in cosplay like quite some time ago, like when I was 12 or 13, but I started cosplaying when I was 16. I liked anime a lot as a kid, and then there was this one time I came across a picture of this quite famous cosplayer from Japan. Like I saw it online, and then I thought like at first I thought it was actually from the anime, like maybe a CG or something, but turns out I went and asked a friend and she's like, oh no, this is cosplay. And so I was like, yeah, what's cosplay? And then she told me that it's basically like people dressing up lah as like their favorite character and stuff. So I'm like, oh okay, that's kind of cool. And then I went and like searched more about cosplaying, and then I found a lot of like really cool cosplayers, which really like got me motivated. Yeah. Back when I was in high school, like I said, I didn't have any friends who knew much about cosplay. Like sure, they know about anime and stuff, like they watch Naruto, all those kind of things lah. But when it comes to cosplaying, they are just not familiar with they didn't know that there are actually people dressing up as anime characters. And so like when I told them that I was interested in cosplay, they were just like, what? You're interested in dressing up? But I guess in the end, like my high school friends didn't really understood what I was trying to tell them. So when I got to college, I found a few friends who are cosplayers. So I guess it was kind of like having a sense of belonging, like finding someone who understands what you like. Yeah.
While we were at her house, Sabi showed us the costume that she was making for an upcoming cosplay event.
Basically, the costume that I'm doing now is a character from a game called Dragon Nest. I'm not sure if you guys heard about it, but it was quite popular back then now. And the one I'm doing now is like sort of like a main character, I guess, of the game.
What's the most difficult part making a costume?
making the pattern, I guess. I mean, actually I got the original pattern online somewhere, because the costume that I'm doing now resembles a cape. So basically I got a pattern for a cape lah, and then like just did certain modification, but it didn't work well, obviously.
In what way?
The proportion was a bit off. I mean, not a bit off, it's very off. And I mean, it looks pretty awkward now, so I have to redo the whole thing. And the thing is, I wasted a lot of fabric on this, so I'm kind of screwed because I don't have enough fabric.
But do you think you'll be able to finish it?
I will be able to finish it, but I don't know if I'll be able to finish it on time.
According to Sabi, costumes for cosplay that are ready-made can be purchased easily through online outlets such as Taobao. However, depending on the popularity of the character being cosplayed, those that are in high demand are more readily available and hence being sold at a competitively cheaper price compared to the less popular ones.
Like let's say some school uniform cosplay lah. Like those I would choose to buy online because it's actually cheaper. Like on Taobao they just sell a set of uniform costume for like say maximum 150 lah. But if I make, it wouldn't be that expensive, but considering the time I have to spend making it, it's a bit not worth it in my opinion lah. So like okay lah, take example the one that I'm cosplaying now. Because this character is a bit, I guess it's quite rare lah, like not much people cosplay her. So online they sold her costume for like 500 ringgit, which is quite like it's not worth it lah, because her costume is actually like a very simple design and there's not much details, but for 500 ringgit, so I guess I'd rather make it myself.
Depending on the complexity of the design, the time needed to make a costume varies. According to Sabi, a simple costume could take around 1 week, while a more complicated one could take a few months. During our visit, Sabi also gave us a tour on the costumes that she has made herself in the past.
My first costume is actually this one, but like the first version was a bit like, how to say, it was pretty ugly lah, cause like, you know, first costume and we had to choose like such a complicated one to make. So we actually redo this one like the second time lah, that's why it looks a bit decent now. And this is the costume that I made 2 years ago, but I never got to wear it. I mean, I'll wear it soon lah, I just don't know when. And I mean, this is actually like a military cosplay. Yeah. And this, I know it looks a bit bad now because it's been at the storage for a while, but this is a costume that I actually, how to say, I rushed this out in like 2 days without sleep. And I mean, it turned out pretty decent, but I don't think I can wear this anymore because since this was made in a rush, right? There's like no zip whatsoever. So yeah. To be fair, until now I'm not so sure what actually kept me motivated, because there are a lot of times I wanted to quit, but like I guess it would be the satisfaction that you get when you finish a costume. It's kind of like, you know, giving birth to a baby, I guess. It's like my brainchild, so like, you know that something is done by you and it looks amazing, so I guess it's that kind of feeling that makes me want to continue this, I guess. Yeah. For now, I mean, I would say that cosplay is a bit more well known than it was years ago, because like there's suddenly a lot of events that's popping up recently. So I mean, people are starting to get to know what cosplaying is, and there's a lot of like TV stations actually report about cosplay events, conventions and all those kind of things. I guess in the future more people will actually understand what cosplaying is. I mean, I hope they do, and probably get rid of all those negative stereotypes that people have on cosplaying.
To get a better understanding of the growing culture, we headed to a cosplay event organized mainly by students from a local university, the C2H X-treme 2017.
as KMB Kuroko with like the basketball thing. And then I'm 21 this year. I'm actually her sister, her twin sister. She's a surprise! Okay, I'm costing Kagami Taiga in KMB also, and my age is 21 of course. Yes.
Kid, cosplay, IQ, cannot be IQ, I'm 20 years this year.
So may I know what inspired you to cosplay? Like what piqued your interest in cosplay?
Last year, YOI came and then like they it was like a huge hype, and then we like watched it, tried to join the hype. Then suddenly we decided to just cosplay because we love the anime, and then we want to be like them. Like I love their characters and everything, so I want to be like them. Cosplay.
So is there any anime that made you
Started this cosplay.
yeah.
Kimi no Nawa. Guys, Kimi no Nawa. I suggest you watch the Kimi no Nawa. Kimi no Nawa, we watched the movie and we're like, whoa! And then we get to know anime. Actually, we watch anime since young, but then we stopped. So like we watch anime again since
So Kimi no Nawa
it's our turning point. Yes. Turning point.
changing.
Changing.
Okay. So what are your parents or your friends' reaction to you cosplay?
Well, my parents don't know about it yet. Soon, but I don't know when. But I don't know. My friends like, wow, like can't believe it. Like we are cosplay because like our character in real life is like boring and everything, and then like suddenly we cosplay and they're like, wow, I never knew this side of you. Kind of shocking for them. But they say nice. What does your parents and family?
They object is the first one. In the end, still. Yeah.
With the growing number of local cosplayers, a new subculture of cosplay has also developed in a multiracial country like Malaysia. For many local female Muslims who are enthusiastic about cosplay, wearing headscarf or hijab is mandatory in the religion, and merging hijab to their costume becomes part of the challenge. Nonetheless, hijab cosplay has provided a platform for these female Muslim cosplayers to unleash their creativity while adhering to the Islamic values. During the event, we spoke to Farah, a hijab cosplayer who is only 16 years old this year but has high hope for the future of hijab cosplay in Malaysia.
The first event I went to Comic Festa, and then I saw some hijab cosplayers, so I got inspired by that. I think that the idea of cosplaying in hijab is very, very unique. It uses our own our religion to merge into a fandom in cosplaying. So the community is expanding to be something very big now, because they this year they made a big event called Jom Hijab to attract people and non-Muslims to cosplay in hijab. Yeah, so I think that they are expanding now.
So are there any obstacles that you have experienced while cosplaying?
I have trouble finding clothes that can cover my whole outright, because mostly of the costume are exposed, right? Yeah, it is. So this costume costs like 360 ringgit for the whole costume. So I think it is still affordable, but
You made the costume yourself?
no. But I used to make some of my costume myself. Yeah.
The uprising of hijab cosplay has given the local cosplayers a promising hope for the future of the industry. However, cosplayers are often under fire for their out-of-norm hobby and are often being criticized for getting into the frenzy of a bizarre culture. One of the most heated arguments is cross-dressing. For example, when a man dresses up as a female character.
So I noticed you're in a girl character.
Yes.
So why do you want to dress up as a girl character?
Because I really love this character. Like I like this character for 5 years until now, and the time when I see I can cosplay, and I was like, yes, I want to cosplay this character no matter what.
Do you think that people will question your masculinity as a man because you cosplay as a girl?
Some people might think about that, but that is actually wrong because I'm cosplaying as a female character. Doesn't mean I want to be a girl. I just like this character a lot, and I want to try to be good to cosplay it.
You can say that you are entirely comfortable with your masculinity.
Yes. Because that thing, guys dressed as a girl must be really weird, but turn out if you can make up well, it can actually seems to be really good. Sometimes people does talk about it, but for us, we just kind of doesn't mind about that because we have a lot of friends in cosplay world, so it doesn't really matter a lot.
So you just ignore them?
Yes.
During the event, we also met another cosplayer who told us about his story when he was cross-dressing as a female character.
negative 方面呢，在 cosplay 的时候难免不可能不会有，不过怎么样讲都好，通常我们都是一直努力去做，无论人家 人家吵什么，我们都会努力去做，通常不要太过介意他人。中招通常最多的是为娘，因为有些女生看不出男生是男生的话，他们通常会很多都会吵起这个事情啊。我有一次最糟糕的经历就是，那时候是去外拍回来，加上那时候是晚上啦。因为男厕所通常我进去里面那几个人男的全部都赶我出来，因为他知道我是男的也不让我进，所以 OK 又让好了又没有开，我只能进那个女的厕所。不过那时候是晚上没有什么人，在里面那个镜子很美，我是刚拍自己的那个整身照，不小心在 Facebook po 我之后就给很多女生还有很多男生指名潮在骂我变态什么之类。其实只普通用这手纹尊敬女生，没有进去里面做什么，我只是用他的化妆台加上镜子而已。基本上最好就是我们能够更成熟一点啦，理解更多啦。反而带用那个地方因素去喷人伤害人的话，不自己努力，自己也没有帮他 cosplay 界只是在破坏而已。不过没关系，无论你们做错什么，我们时间久了人都会原谅大家，希望你们也一样。
Cross-dressing isn't the only controversial issue in cosplay. On the 21st of October 2013, 15-year-old cosplayer Ng Yuk Tim was brutally murdered by Poon Wai Hong, a cosplay friend that she had known through Facebook. The suspect attempted to rape the victim when they were alone in his house to make their cosplay outfit. The victim then fought back, but ended up being killed by the suspect with a dumbbell. Her body was then stuffed into a green suitcase and abandoned at an industrial site near Kota Kemuning, Shah Alam. After the incident, many people began to speculate that it was the weird hobby of cosplaying that has shaped the abnormal and twisted psyche of the suspect.
其实 cosplay 好像就是一个不好的文化，就是可能是之前到下来的，他们看到某一些，但之前有一个命案发生是可能要会造成这样子，就造成人家有偏见，但其实这只是这么大圈子里面突然间发生了一个命案，在别的圈子也有形形色色这样的东西，就不能因为一样东西而让这个圈子就是这样子。
我是有朋友有遇到啦，然后就是说玩 cosplay 的都是比较叛逆的孩子，那样就是因为他认为就是我们 cosplay 这些就是叛逆啊，
就很花时间这样。
对，然后就感觉很想法很奇怪啊，就觉得我们
就觉得是一个怪咖，就为什么要去玩 cosplay，就穿到这样奇奇怪怪的。
Many people think cosplaying is just like putting on a costume, going to convention, and that's about it. But you actually get to learn a lot as a cosplayer. Like in my case, is that I learned how to do makeup. I learned how to make costumes and like making props. Now my parents are more, I guess, accepting of what I'm doing because of the things I get to learn.
我觉得就可能只是因为他对我们对 cosplay 不是很了解吧，就可能 迟点久了，就当下event多人 cos 的时候，他们应该可以慢慢认识到的话，这样我觉得他们想法应该会慢慢改变吧。毕竟现在时代也在变，全部的想法也在变。
The local cosplay community has seen tremendous improvement over the last few years. While many people, especially parents, might still not understand the culture, some are happy to support the interests of their children. We met a mother who brought along her 2 daughters to cosplay at the event, with her younger daughter being only 9 years old this year. Both her daughters have been actively participating in various cosplay competitions, so we asked her about her opinion on the cosplay community. 所以都是去了 event 之后才更加了解。那对于你的女儿参加 cosplay， 你一开始的时候是保持着怎么样的心态？
最重要是他们可以好像功课要做完那些上学的，只是weekend的空才去参加，没关系，不会影响功课。好像我的大女儿，她去年 SPM 拿到7个成绩，也可以保持。
所以其实一开始你也没有很反对。
没有，只是要求他，还有他的不会买 cos 给他，要他自己节省，好像零用钱自己存钱去买。如果我买给他，他就好像一直要我们他说我喜欢这套，人家你们买的，他又要那一套，好像很花费很大，我要他自己做他自己的，他也学习到要省钱，自己写作学买
如果以后小女儿还要继续走下去的话，你也是
给她自由发展，我没有管束她喜欢我就会陪她来，她不喜欢的我会带她来推荐她，让她给她自己自由发展的兴趣。
Like many other things, the culture of cosplay isn't just a simple right or wrong. While many people love it, many more might just never fathom the widespread of the culture. At the end of the interviews, we asked the cosplayers what are their hopes for the future of the community in Malaysia.
Actually, Malaysia is quite good, right? Yeah. It's coming to it's booming up.
就好像办多年活动槟榔的那一种，是有比较大型的大人物 sponsor 一定是没有得讲啊，不一样啊，这个。政府也要有点。对对对，因为这种东西都要通过大人物，我们才有这个活动。我是希望 cosplay 的这个世界可以变到更大更广，然后就是让大家都有机会可以一起参加活动，然后一起玩这样。
I hope for future my son can support me and play with me. I become a father, a jogger junior and a jogger father.
Because Malaysia is like with different races, right? So I hope like next time all races can like cosplay no matter what kind of skin color you are, what religion, and then we can like come together as one. Yeah, to do whatever we like to do. Satu Malaysia. Satu Malaysia boleh.
Okay. I guess it would be good to know what you like, I guess. I mean, don't give up so easily, because honestly, I think being a cosplayer is a pretty tough thing. Like, you have to like withstand other people's weird looks and stuff, and like people will talk if you cosplay, but I guess if it's something that you really like, then just go ahead with it and just do whatever the hell you like.